Hello, welcome to BBC Newsline, the headlines this Wednesday evening. GPs say the ongoing stalemate with the Department of Health over an imposed financial contract has left them angry.
We felt really frustrated. We had spent a lot of time trying to get our point across in terms of what was needed. We felt angry in terms of the way it was delivered. We felt disrespected as a profession.
A man who witnessed a crowd attack a car in East Belfast in what's being treated as a hate crime says he was sickened by the scenes. The First and Deputy First Ministers have rejected MLA's concerns over political rows between their parties since Stormont's return. Toxins have been found in the flesh of some Lough Neagh fish for the first time. Nearly half of all electricity customers have never switched from the largest supplier, even though shopping around can result in big savings.
We do look for the cheaper options, and with everything that's happening in the world right now and the environment and the economy we're in, we probably will change when and if we can be bothered.
It wasn't just a bad night for the Republic of Ireland, it's perhaps their worst of all time. Dreams of a World Cup up in smoke.
And the unsettled theme to the weather is set to continue through the rest of the week. Tomorrow, though, should be a slight improvement on today.
Hello, I'm Catherine Morrison. It is Wednesday, the 10th of September. Thanks for joining us. First, tonight, GPs say an ongoing row with the Department of Health over finances has left them angry, disappointed and disrespected. It's also having a knock-on effect on patients. A financial contract was imposed on GPs, triggering a work to rule, and appointments are being restricted to 25 per day. Let's take a look at the big picture. Out of a total health budget of £7.8 billion, GPs receive 5.4% of that, or £388 million. Last year, the Doctors' Union, the BMA, asked the Health Minister for an additional £80 million. Instead, they got only £1 million, at a time, they say, when they're seeing a rise in patient numbers. Our health correspondent, Mary-Louise Connolly, reports.
You're managing with your breathing okay?
Yes.
Dr Mullen is one of 5 GPs at Stormont Riverside Practice. While the number of GPs there has fallen, the number of patients has risen, and that means prioritising care.
Well, if I have more money in my practice, I can employ more GPs. With the current funding model, we are actually at a level where we're not able to recruit GPs. I'm in a practice where for the first time in 23 years, I have 2 GP vacancies. That is unprecedented.
It's a similar picture across Northern Ireland. In order to build and stabilise general practice, doctors asked for an additional £80 million. Instead, the Minister says the budget could afford £1 million.
Twice I asked, tell me what you would do with an additional £80 million in terms of service delivery. And I didn't get the response, because the answer is it will only be more of the same. I cannot fund that.
While the Minister said he wasn't looking for a fight, he also said GPs must do better. Those comments and imposing their contract have for the first time led to a very public fallout between doctors and the Health Minister.
We felt disrespected as a profession, if I'm being honest, in terms of how it was delivered. There's no other way that you would hear any other profession being spoken about like that, the way it was in Stormont. So we were hugely disappointed. The way it finished was fairly shocking, to be honest.
The Minister has taken many by surprise.
It's unprecedented, Mary-Louise. It's a situation where the Health Minister is really quite scathing in his language about GPs, and he says the negotiation is over, that he's not continuing it, that he's going to implement the contract for this year. So for the public, this could have really serious consequences.
The move triggered a work to rule, which includes GPs limiting patient appointments to 25 per day.
Oh, you make it through. You make it through to about 11 or half 11. I mean, that's from like 8:30.
How much are you put off by trying to see your GP?
Because you know it can be difficult ringing through. Yeah, like trying to get in contact with them. It can, there's only certain times you can ring.
Accessing general practice or getting to see your GP is vital to maintaining good public health. It's the first entry point to the NHS and accounts for around 90% of all patient access to the health service. So when it's not working effectively, people tend to get sicker, they use their emergency department more frequently, and that all impacts on hospital waiting lists.
Plans for a local neighbourhood health model is to include GPs. The Minister says that will affect their funding.
The obvious logical implication is that there will be more flowing in terms of money out of our budgets into community and into neighbourhood healthcare.
Neither the Minister or GPs are for budging. In the meantime, caught in the middle are people who just want to see a doctor. Mary-Louise Connolly, BBC Newsline.
A man who witnessed a racist attack on a car in East Belfast has said he feared for the lives of the 3 men inside it. The eyewitness, who wants to remain anonymous, said a large crowd shouting racist abuse attacked the vehicle in Connswater Retail Park on Monday night. This is the footage of the incident. It's been widely shared on social media, but BBC News NI hasn't been able to verify who recorded and posted the video. Michael Fitzpatrick has the story.
This is the incident in the car park of a fast food restaurant at Connswater Retail Park, which police are investigating. It happened on Monday evening and is being treated as a racially motivated hate crime. BBC News NI hasn't been able to verify who recorded and posted the video. Today, a man who was in the car park told the BBC's Nolan Show what he saw.
About 7:45, drive-in, seen around about 40, 50 people, maybe 60. Many with scarves and over their faces hiding their identities. And then all of a sudden, there's one there. There was about 40 to 50 people surrounded the car. Get them out, get them out, get them out. Shaking the car, kicking the car, hitting the windies, booting the windies. It's sickened the life clean out of me.
The eyewitness said he thought 3 men in the car were going to be killed before the driver managed to get the vehicle away from the crowd.
They were terrified. I seen them, seen the fear on their faces. We were behind them. Guys were running up, chasing after them.
Today, the First Minister said she was concerned by the scenes in East Belfast.
How do we dispel some of the nonsense that leads to some of the antics that we see in the streets, some of the dangerous things that we see in the streets? And what we saw at, isn't it, Connswater the other day is something that makes me very alarmed about potentially where this all could go. So we all need to equally be alarmed.
Police say they're treating Monday night's incident and a separate attack on a silver car in the same area as racially motivated hate crimes. They said there will be an increased policing presence, with officers continuing to engage with partner agencies, and that self-appointed patrols are not accepted and will not be tolerated. Michael Fitzpatrick, BBC Newsline in East Belfast.
To Stormont now, where the First and Deputy First Ministers have rejected concerns of unedifying bickering between their parties since Stormont returned from its summer recess. Just 3 days into the new autumn term, the Assembly's return has been marked by several political spats. But appearing before an Assembly Scrutiny Committee this afternoon, Michelle O'Neill and Emma Little-Pengelly said everyone was determined to build a better society. Our political correspondent Gareth Gordon reports.
The honeymoon is over, but is the relationship in trouble? Theme for the day, from the off.
What we are seeing is a lot of very unedifying bickering between the political representatives from both your parties. And I would put it to you that we are not seeing progress on these pieces of work, because I think it suits both your parties politically to keep this place divided and to keep people suspicious of each other.
I mean, I don't agree with your assessment, of course, as you would have expected me to say. I believe that we're all tasked with trying to build a better society here, and I believe that's everybody's determination. I think on different issues at different times we might have different views on things, and that's okay.
Absolutely, I completely disagree with your analysis.
The sceptics remained, well, sceptical.
I'm really, really dismayed at how toxic this environment is in this place. We've only returned, this is our 3rd day back, and it's not a nice environment. There's a great deal of toxicity.
I think all of us can get frustrated. I can get frustrated when I think somebody's making a political point to get a clip or to get headlines, whatever that may be. We all do, and there's no doubt about that. But I think at the heart of all of this, as the First Minister's outlined, is like 99% plus of time is spent getting on with things, pushing things through the department, trying to get that delivery.
Michelle O'Neill may have expected this question.
Are we speaking to the First Minister for all today? Or are we speaking to the First Minister of no alternative that continues to eulogise and terror and attend commemorations?
You're speaking to Michelle O'Neill, First Minister.
But most unionist anger focused on Nationalist councillors' opposition to the British Army's involvement in a jobs fair in Londonderry.
Do you consider Londonderry to be a no-go area for the armed forces?
Let's not get sensationalist.
Is that not what you're saying? Are you saying it's a no-go area?
Let's not get sensationalist.
That's not sensationalist.
The DUP mightn't like the outcome of the local councillors in Derry City and Strabane, but in my opinion it is the right outcome, it is the right thing to do for the people of Derry, and I think that everybody just needs to move on.
I think that's an appalling comment, and I will make that comment.
The First Minister accused the media of ignoring the good news. So how about this? It ended in smiles. Garth Gordon, BBC Newsline, Stormont.
OK, still to come on the programme. He's thought to be the oldest man in Northern Ireland. Now this war veteran from Coleraine has been given a British Empire Medal from the Princess Royal. It's been another summer of blue-green algae in Lough Neagh, but this year, and for the first time, toxins have been found in the flesh of some fish in the loch. The Food Standards Agency, however, says commercially harvested fish remain safe to eat, and there's been no change to advice for recreational anglers. Our agriculture and environment correspondent, Louise Cullen, has more.
Since the blue-green algal crisis began in 2023, the Food Standards Agency has tested fish caught in Lough Neagh. That work has involved labs around the world, checking the type and level of toxins that may be present. Toxins were found in fish organs last year, which aren't consumed, but this year is different.
This year, with our more extensive testing, we have again found toxins in the viscera of fish. And for the first time, in 2 species of fish, in some individuals, we've also found toxins in the flesh, so in the part of the fish that, normally speaking, you might eat.
The species involved are eel and perch, and because the toxin levels are so low, the fish are safe to eat.
People who get very sick from algal blooms do so, for example, from swallowing the bloom itself if you've been swimming. So that is not a concern. Because the toxin tends to accumulate in the viscera of fish, what we are strongly advising is that people who catch their own fish from the loch take good care to eviscerate the fish well and to clean it before eating it. And then if you're eating the flesh, that is of no concern at all.
Brine eel fishing was cancelled this year amid quality issues. The silver eel season begins soon, and those who depend on the loch for a living say the Food Standards Agency's findings are good news.
We are led by the science. The science says they're perfectly healthy to eat. Well, we always knew our fish were healthy because the Food Standards Agency had already declared that. This just gives that extra bit of rubber stamp and that extra bit of confidence. As the body responsible for marketing the fish off Lough Neagh, we're very, very confident in our product now.
We believe that the toxin gets eliminated relatively swiftly from fish. It doesn't bioaccumulate over years and years, so we're not anticipating that this is kind of built up over the years, but it obviously will fluctuate very much depending on the levels of algae and the behaviour of the individual fish, where they've swum for how long and how frequently prior to being caught.
With this expected for years to come, monitoring will continue. Louise Cullen, BBC Newsline.
The former US Senator and chair of the Northern Ireland Peace Talks, George Mitchell, once described his friendship with the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein as a blessing. That's according to a handwritten letter in a book given to Epstein in 2003 to mark his 50th birthday. It's reported to include messages from a host of well-known people, including President Trump, former President Bill Clinton and Lord Peter Mandelson. Our political correspondent Jim McCormick has more.
As a politician turned peacemaker, George Mitchell's role in the Good Friday Agreement is well documented. But it's new documents linking the former senator to the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein that are drawing attention. A letter from George Mitchell that formed part of a so-called 50th birthday book for Epstein has been released by the US Congress. Mitchell's letter, dated January 2003, reads, "The beginning of a new year is an appropriate time to count our blessings. Among mine is your friendship." The letter goes on to describe how the pair met by chance at an airport and that Mitchell viewed Epstein as a good friend, adding, "I'm grateful for that and what I hope will be many more years of your friendship." George Mitchell isn't the only person with links here who appeared to have a friendship with Epstein. This former Secretary of State, Peter Mandelson, whose correspondence with the late financier has also been published, now says he regrets ever meeting him.
I felt it like an albatross around my neck since his death in 2018 or 19, when it was. I feel a tremendous sense of regret, not only that I met him in the first place, but that I continued the association.
When it comes to the focus on George Mitchell, a spokesperson for him told the Portland Press Herald that he stands by his prior statements regarding Epstein. They added, during the time he knew Epstein, he had no knowledge of Epstein's actions involving underage girls, and he first learned of those actions through published reports of Epstein's prosecution in Florida. He never had any contact with Mr. Epstein again. The BBC has also attempted to contact Mr. Mitchell for comment about this latest development. Jane McCormack, BBC Newsline.
Now, how often do you consider moving electricity provider? It turns out that nearly half of all customers have never switched from the largest supplier, Power NI. They're known as sticky customers. Figures from the utility regulator show only 28% have switched in the last 3 years and 49% have never moved. Of course, it can be beneficial to shop around. Ita Duncan has more.
Are you a sticky customer? That's how those in the energy business refer to customers who have never switched suppliers. And when it comes to Northern Ireland, we have a sizable number of sticky customers. Power NI is Northern Ireland's original provider of electricity. It is also its largest supplier, and its customers over the years have been very loyal. 49% of them have never switched company from their original Power NI account.
I have no complaints with it. I'm quite happy with the payments, and that hasn't let me down in the 60 years I've had it.
Changing the direct debits, just the faff of it, but we do look for the cheaper options, and with everything that's happening in the world right now and the environment and the economy we're in, we probably will change when and if we can be bothered.
I just think it's easier just to stay with the same provider. Last time I switched, it just caused me multiple problems, so now I just don't move.
With 5 companies vying for business, the Consumer Council says the move is an easy one.
You go to the consumercouncil.org.uk website. It takes a couple of minutes, so make yourself a cup of tea, sit down with your, preferably with your electricity bill or some detail on what you're actually paying at the moment, so that you can then go to the system and say, this is what I'm paying. It's very easy to put the detail in and get information out on what the best deal for you would be with a different supplier.
And according to the regulator, there are savings to be made.
Overall, looking at some of the cheapest deals in the market compared to some of the more expensive deals, you could be talking £300-400 per year savings. So it is significant.
With winter approaching, any savings on electricity bills will be greatly appreciated. Ita Duncan, BBC Newsline.
Good advice. Now, this man is believed to be Northern Ireland's oldest man, 106-year-old Norman Irwin from Coleraine, and looking very well on it. Well, today he was invited to Hillsborough Castle to receive a medal at a royal garden party. Our community correspondent Mark Simpson was there too.
It's very nice to see you here.
Norman Irwin is older than Northern Ireland. He was born at the end of the First World War, then he fought in the Second. The Princess Royal today presented him with a British Empire medal, and he insisted on standing up to thank her. Also there at Hillsborough Castle was Norman's 78-year-old son David and 44-year-old grandson Chris.
It's a very proud moment for myself and all my family, and I'm sure he's very proud as well. I mean, what he's done for his community, what he did during the war, so many other brave people did. It's an honour to see him getting some recognition for it. He's a character and a half, very cheeky, very quick-witted, and got a zest for life, and that's what's kept him going, plus a Bushmills every day.
And that's true. He even told the princess.
Bushmills? Really? I never would have guessed.
Outside at the garden party, there were hundreds of guests. But missing was this young man, Matthew Starkey. He was invited but sadly died of cancer last month. But his wife Carrie and mother Fiona wanted to be here.
It's a devastating time for everybody involved, but you have to celebrate life and come to these sort of events and spread the awareness of the efforts that he made during his journey.
It was a day of many different emotions. Mark Simpson, BBC Newsline at Hillsborough Castle.
OK, time for sport now, and Thomas Niblock is with us this evening. Bad night for the Republic last night.
Bad night, Catherine. There's been some low points throughout the years, and you could make the argument that this is the lowest of the whole lot. A result that all but ends realistic hopes of qualifying for next summer's World Cup. The Republic of Ireland have a mountain to climb. Armenia were expected to finish bottom of the group, but they beat the Republic 2-1 last night. With 4 games yet to play, and 2 of those against Portugal, hope and expectation is at an all-time low. There was a time when things were different.
Ireland! They are in the last 8 and the party can begin.
Jack Charlton's Irish side reached the quarter-finals of the World Cup in Italia 90, and they made a huge impact the last time the tournament was held in the United States. The World Cup will head back to the USA next year, but it's hugely unlikely the Irish team will be there.
We didn't create enough, probably wasn't defensively strong enough, and overall just wasn't a good enough performance.
There's been lows before. Macedonia in 1997 and Cyprus in 2006. There's been others too. However, there's a
naive. That's understandable now, and after this performance, is of course I will take the blame for this. It's ready for the next challenge.
That next challenge is against Portugal, who are expected to win the group and a side more than capable of killing Ireland's faint hopes of making it to the World Cup. Now, staying with football, the Communities Minister Gordon Lyons says there will be losers and winners, as he is set to reveal details of which local clubs will receive government money as part of the long-awaited football fund tomorrow morning. Now, it's 14 years since the £36.2 million pot was first announced.
It's going to be a really good day tomorrow for local football, because remember, clubs have been waiting for an announcement for over 14 years. This has been held up. I'm determined to drive it forward, determined to deliver. So we will hear tomorrow about those clubs that are going to progress to the next stage. It's £36.2 million are available. I want to make sure we spend as much of that as we can, that we make the improvements to clubs and that we actually make a difference.
Now, after winning the Irish Open on Sunday, Rory McIlroy will tee up at the PGA Championship at Wentworth tomorrow. Ahead of the tournament, he's been reflecting on his incredible year so far, the career Grand Slam and much more besides it. Now, he is looking forward to the Ryder Cup at Bethpage in the United States, which takes place at the end of the month.
Yeah, whether it be the golf courses that I've won at or the way that I've won them, the scene on 18 at the K Club, scene at 18 at Augusta. Yeah, it's like it mightn't go down as the most successful year of my career, but I think it's definitely the most memorable. And obviously I've got an opportunity to add to those memories this week, but then obviously in a couple of weeks' time at Bethpage as well.
Now, the build-up is underway for Saturday night's World Championship boxing rematch between Lewis Crocker and Paddy Donovan at Windsor Park. When they met back in March, Donovan was disqualified after the 8th round for a punch after the bell. But this time, the IBF welterweight belt is on the line and Crocker is looking forward to a big night.
Feeling great, mate. Everything's went to plan and biggest night of my life on Saturday, so ready to get it done.
What type of atmosphere do you expect with 16,000 plus at Windsor Park?
Oh, it's going to be crazy. Like even the atmosphere here, you know, just for the public workout, it's exceptional. So it means everything to me. It's a dream come true. So to get the job done for a world title, it's going to be everything I ever wanted in life. So big performance on Saturday.
Finally, in Gaelic Games, this guy, it's expected, will be interviewed tonight for the vacant Fermanagh Gaelic football job as the potential new manager of the county. And lastly, just a little bit of news has been confirmed today that Donald Trump's golf course in Doonbeg in County Clare will host the Irish Open next September. That's the sport.
Thomas, thank you. Now let's get the weather with Cecilia. How's it looking?
Not golfing weather, that's for sure, Catherine. Pretty grim today, unfortunately. Some serious downpours around. Parts of Down and Armagh have had 25 to 30 millimetres of rain in the last 24 hours, particularly around the mornings. And you can see on the weather radar the bands of rain moving across Northern Ireland, the dark blues indicating where it was particularly heavy. But those more organised areas of rain are now beginning to move away, and showers are more scattered this evening. So there is some drier weather around this evening. We will still keep clusters of showers coming through from time to time in the west, but not so many in the east and south. Some clearer skies, quite brisk winds, mind you, so it won't get desperately cold, although perhaps in sheltered spots maybe down to 7 or 8 degrees. So tomorrow, a slight improvement compared with today. It will be brighter, but there'll still be some heavy showers around, but they won't be as prolonged as today. So some dry weather at times in the morning, especially across the east and south. The showers always most frequent in the west tomorrow. Still the chance of some heavy ones with potentially a rumble of thunder. But because of those brisk winds, there will be more dry gaps around, a little bit more sunshine. But despite that, it's going to be on the cool side, temperatures in the low to mid-teens. So that's actually down on today. Tomorrow night, still a few showers in the west, but becoming largely dry and clear in the east and south. So let's move on to Friday. It's another day of sunshine and scattered showers. But again, most of the showers in the west, not so many in the east and south, and some places may stay dry. So gradually the showers are becoming lighter and less frequent, and that's all because that area of low pressure that's bringing this weather is gradually moving away northwards. So hopefully that means during the latter part of Saturday, we'll see things turn drier and less windy from the south. But as you can perhaps see, there's another area of low pressure sitting out in the Atlantic. That's going to bring more wet and windy weather through Saturday night and Sunday, and could potentially be the first named storm of the season. So although it looks like it's raining all the time, there will be some dry gaps, I promise.
But I think autumn is definitely here.
Totally here.
Cecilia, thank you. I'll be back with the late news at 10:30. Bye-bye.